Hello, everybody, and happy Easter to those who celebrate. Today, we're going to be racing at Texas Motor Speedway for race number 7 of the RMS season. It's the Interstate Batteries 500. This brand new 1.5 mile oval, I guess you could say D-shaped oval, just like Charlotte and Atlanta. It had a very entertaining race last time we went out to the Lone Star, to the Lone Star, to the Lone Star State. Okay, that took 3 tries. But anyways, yeah, very entertaining finish where Michael Parsons ended up victorious and had the pistols in the air in victory lane, shooting them pistols. But anyways, we're here for round 2 here at Texas in 1999. Let's waste no further time because I'm stumbling through my words and get through this starting lineup. On pole for, I believe, maybe the first time in his career, Josh Eichenfelder in the 78. To his outside is Dan Sedgwick. Row 2 is Doge Workington and Patrick Kammeets. Row 3 is Brandon Allen and S.G. Craig. Row 4 is Montana Sherman and Anthony McClure. What a white and blue cars here up front. There's your defending winner at Texas, Michael Parsons, with Anton Alvarez to his outside. Kellen Short and Tegan Fox in row 6. Row 7 is Neil Dick and Flandre Wilson. Row 8 is Ronnie Martin and Skippy Larson. Row 9 is Kurt Perkins and Justin Perez. Row 10 is Peter Lane and Carlson Vevels. Row 11 is Kirsten Bell with the title sponsor of the race on her hood, and Prerev Shrivastava. Row 12 is Christopher Lattimore and Leroy Conwell. Row 13 is Matthew Hubert and the points leader Mark Evans, who won last week at Bristol, starting a bit farther back than usual. Row 14 is Manuel Sanchez and Nelson Reeves. Row 15 is Caleb Lane and Bandit Gallagher, who has finally made an RMS race for the slow fast track racing. I believe this is row 16. That's Big Mac and Riley Smith. Row 17 is Jackson Brown and Luke Evans. Row 18 is Ezekiel Garcia Ball and Alex Davidson. Row 19 is Kyle Sistry and Carlos Martin. Row 20 is Fleet Cruz and Sierra Reno. And on the final row is Angel Gutierrez and not Ryan Scarrett, it is Maria Tagola starting at the rear. Scarrett put that car, I believe, 15th somewhere in qualifying. Hold on, let me get the 14th in qualifying, but he did some stuff in the ADS race yesterday, so he got suspended for this race, and Tagola now driving in the 54 for this race. But anyways, enough yapping. Let's get this race underway.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the engines fire up here for the first time today at Texas. Cars are now rolling. It was 67 laps last year. We've decided to extend that to 101 laps, so it's a bit longer. And some might say bigger, because, you know, everything's bigger in Texas. I have to use every cliche I can about Texas. But yeah, anyways, Josh Eichenfelder. I said this might be his first ever pole. And I'll see if I can get confirmation about that. But anyways, pace car's about to pull in, and it will. And here comes Eichenfelder, Dan Sedgwick, leading the field to green, and we're underway at Texas Motor Speedway. Eichenfelder's easily going to clear Dan Sedgwick into turn 1 and start to pull away a bit. Fight for second, Doge Porkington, Sedgy. Sedgy looks like he might be able to hang on the outside, and it looks like he will, using the advantage to the high side on the back stretch, not the front stretch. Workington fighting where Kammeets now. Looks like Workington, slowest start for him, as Eichenfelder is going to lead lap number 1 in the 78 machine. And yellow flag's already waving. Spinning cars on the front stretch, Davidson and Kyle Sistry, and we already have an early yellow flag here today. Not sure if half the field has made it to the caution flag, but we'll see what happened to these two Ford drivers. So it's 3 wide coming out of turn 4, and Fleet Cruz lining up into Kyler Sustry, who slides up into Davidson. We'll get Evans making some contact there, and I'm not sure. No, he does not save it, but he gets into the wall. Keeps it straight, though. Sustry, however, cannot, as he takes a bit of a spin around in the 55. And usually, you don't see a lot of first lap wrecks because, well, we usually restart before those happen. But the leaders crossed the start-finish line, so we completed one lap, so that will not be a restart. Wasn't big enough, probably, for a restart anyways. But anyways, tough luck for Sustry and Davidson. Sustry has been kind of struggling as of recently, all throughout the season, honestly. Davidson has just been mid, I guess. But yeah, tough luck for both of them, as our first caution is out today. It looks like we're going to have some pit stops here. Josh Eichenfelder leading the field down pit road. Field kind of getting held up here by Parsons and Sherman. I'm not sure what that is about, but looks like they're going to figure it out, hopefully. Pole sitter Eichenfelder leading the field down pit road as everybody gets into their pit stalls. That's not really a good view. And quick stop for Dan Sedgwick and ST Craig. They're both out quickly. Looks like fuel only for some of these drivers, compared to Eichenfelder, K-Meets, and Brandon Allen, all taking tires instead. So it'll be definitely very interesting to see what strategy works out in the end. But Dan Sedgwick's now going to be the new leader. Had a chance to win Texas last year, kind of choked it at the end to his teammate Michael Parsons. We'll see if he can continue his dominance here at Texas. Okay, so Kurt's... everything's normal here. He's going to get into his pit stall. And then Skippy Larson's going to try to get into his pit stall. And, oh, that just destroyed both of their cars. Just normal interactivities, and Larson is just going to continue like nothing ever happened. That's funny. Alright, we're getting ready for our first restart of the day here at Texas. Dan Sedgwick and ST Craig, I believe, only took fuel only, so now they're first and second. Meanwhile, Josh Eichenfelder on back, I think, took tires, perhaps. Not sure about that. I believe we do have one retirement, and that's for Kurt Perkins. He had some issues, quote-unquote, on pit road, so he retired from the race. So early end for Kurt, but everybody else is still on the racetrack, as pace car should pull in soon. Top 10 currently is Dan Sedgwick, ST Craig, Josh Eichenfelder, Patrick K-Meets, Brandon Allen, Kellen Short, Ronnie Martin, Michael Parsons, Montana Sherman, and Anthony LaCour rounds out your top 10. Still very early in the race, only 6 laps in, as the pace car will pull in, and we will get ready for the first restart today. Dan Sedgwick still leading the field. Green flag is back out, back underway. And a pretty even start between the top two, as looks like the field is already shuffling. Parsons trying to make moves, trying to get under Ronnie Martin, and he will. Eichenfelder, meanwhile, trying to get under ST Craig. Trying to get some sort of run developed down the backstretch on slightly fresher tires compared to Craig. Side by side here for second, and he's easily going to win that battle. Now going to be looking for the lead. Here comes Josh Eichenfelder. Side by side here, coming to the line. Sechi just barely led that lap, but Eichenfelder will have the advantage on the inside, followed by K-Meets. Brandon Allen close behind as well. Eichenfelder will easily clear for the lead, but here comes Patrick K-Meets. Might try to go for the lead himself. Not enough of a run. He'll probably stay right behind Eichenfelder. Here comes Craig trying to get third place all to himself, as Eichenfelder will come off of turn 4, and he will lead the lap. But K-Meets is right there. He's looking for some room here, trying to get down to the inside of the 78. Oh, Eichenfelder slides up. Here comes K-Meets. He also slides up. ST Craig almost had a shot to make it 3 wide, but he had no room. He didn't have enough of a run. Here comes Patrick K-Meets, though. Helped by ST Craig. And Cam Eats is going to be the new leader here at Texas. Coming out of turn 4, he'll lead the lap. Eichenfelder slides up some more. Almost made contact with the outside wall and with Dan Sedgwick, and he'll fall back to 4th place. Great restart for Anthony McCoy. He's up into the top 5. Fighting behind him is Anton Alvarez and Brandon Allen. Allen trying to keep his 6th place position, but it looks like he's going to lose that battle. Eichenfelder trying to get back up to 2nd, fighting with ST Craig. Slightly fresher tires, I think, mean a little bit more here at Texas. We'll wait and see under these clear conditions. As Eichenfelder will win the battle, and back into 2nd he goes, but he slides up the racetrack. That might help Craig battle back here. He's got to run down to the inside. Alvarez up into 4th place with 1 move. That 44 is looking pretty speedy. Speaking of which, who has our fastest lap? It is Neil Dick. And 2nd fastest as Allen gets into the wall, almost causing an accident. Was Brandon Allen there? It looks like the 37 had a mech issue. And that's why it looks like the field is split into 2 right now, as Kirsten Bell has some issues. So we look back to live, no issues on Bell. I'm not sure why she pitted. Meanwhile, Alvarez up into 2nd place. Here comes Doge Borkington back up into 3rd place. Ronnie Martin also behind, that little conglomerate of drivers. HKS Ronnie Racing and Team Monte Carlo Motorsports, they have a bit of an alliance with each other, so it's good to see 3 of their drivers doing pretty successful. Here comes Neil Dick, the guy with the fastest lap currently, last time I checked, yes. So far, his return to RMS, at least in a competitive ride, has been pretty successful so far. Makes you wonder if they'll ever bring, Owen McThydig back, but it remains to be seen. They probably will, but, I like creating rumors as Alvarez slides up. I almost said Martin, but Alvarez slides up a bit. That'll allow Cam Yates to grow his lead somewhat. But Alvarez looks pretty fast here. I wouldn't imagine these 2 would battle it out here soon. Good run out of turn 4 for Anton. See if they get side by side here into turn 1 if he has a chance. Not close enough to make a move. Not yet, at least. As they start to pull away from Borkington a bit. Heading down the backstretch, Alvarez is moving down to the inside. He's got to run. Here comes Anton Alvarez. Side by side into turn 3. Alvarez with the advantage. And he should easily take the lead unless Cam Yates has a good run on the outside. No, he does not. Alvarez, new leader. He'll lead the lap. But Cam Yates will probably fight back here, I would imagine. As most of the top 10 gets a bit single-filed out. Alvarez sliding up. Cam Yates, great advantage here. If he can get close enough to make a move, that'll allow Borkington to close up. There comes ST Craig trying to battle for 4th place right behind with Ronnie Martin. Cam Yates is all over the back number of the 44 though. Let's see if he makes a move. Into turn 1. Does he decide to do it? I don't think he's close enough. He'll stay right behind the 44 for now. As Angel Gutierrez on pit road as well. Not sure why some of these drivers are pitting. Oh, he had a mechanical issue. He had to tend to that as Alvarez got a great run out of turn 2. Here comes Doge Borkington to the inside. Oh, and Gutierrez is going to slow up a lot of drivers behind. I thought he was going to get plowed by a bunch of drivers, but it looks like that issue is fixed. Anyways, Borkington, voice crack, Borkington into 2nd place. Looking for a great run here today. He has so far, I believe, made all the races. Looking to get back into the top 13 owners' points. As Team Monte Carlo Motorsports is looking for their first pretty much consistent success. And Anthony McCoy almost made a 3 wide there for a second. The aggressive young driver trying to make things happen. Trying to make his dad proud. And it looks like it's working out pretty well so far here at Texas. Trying to get on the inside of Cam Yates. He moves him up the racetrack. Cam Yates had no room on the inside. And here comes the 74. Alvarez slowly pulling away from the rest of the field as Borkington just hanging out in 2nd right now. Here comes Montana Sherman as well, also looking for a strong run today. A lot of these drivers up front here looking for strong runs, looking to make something happen after a rough start to the season. And Sherman moving up into 3rd place, showing why Ford Performance Racing signed this young driver. As Borkington sort of closing up on Alvarez here. Might have a battle for the lead here soon if the 14 can catch up. Neil Dick still with the fastest lap. Shout out Luke Evans, third fastest lap somehow. Cam Eats almost made contact with the wall there. Behind. And Borkington is definitely closing up. So is Montana Sherman. Got to worry about that somewhat. He's got to defend his position and gain on his competitor and his teammate, kind of alliance teammate, if you will. Almost 80 laps into this as Alvarez runs a bit of a higher line than Borkington. That could help Borkington a bit if Alvarez makes a mistake. Let's see the gap here, I think. Alvarez pulled away somewhat there. Not a lot, though, as Borkington does slide up, though. That's going to affect him dearly. Or he could get a good run. He might get a good run off of the exit of turn 2. But Montana Sherman is right there. That did not help Borkington at all. Here comes the number 15 machine. Sherman looking for second. Side by side, Sherman's going to barely beat Borkington out at the line. And now he's all clear to go to try to chase down the number 44. As he slides up on his own. Seems like the tire's really wearing out right now for some of these drivers. Alvarez just chilling with the lead right now. And you can see how kind of fresh tires are very helpful right now for Angel Gutierrez, who's currently a lap down and currently in, well, kind of 6th place, if you will. But he's slowly making his way to the front. He might get a lap back, honestly. But his pit strategy is all screwed up as Sherman continues to close the gap. He's there. He's there on Alvarez. He's going to have to wait to make his move. All over the back bumper of the 44. Here comes Montana Sherman. To the inside goes the former rookie driver from last season. Still looking for his first career win. Alvarez might be able to hang on the outside, though. He is. Shows you how worn out those tires are. The outside lane can do things when these tires are worn out. And it showed right there as Alvarez is going to pull away somewhat. Now it looks like Brandon Allen could be a lap car. He was in the top 10. I'm not sure what happened to him. I guess he pitted as well. Here comes Angel Gutierrez on the fresher tires. 2 laps down, looking to get one of his laps back. Really affecting Montana Sherman, though. He did not want that to happen. As here comes Gutierrez, he might get around Alvarez as well. Those fresher tires are really helping. And this could be helpful for Sherman. He could use the lap car as a pick if he can get enough of a run on Alvarez, and he does. Huge run out of turn 2. Here comes the 15 machine again. And a better opportunity this time, that's for sure, to try to get around Alvarez. It's still close. He's going to clear out of turn 4. New leader, Montana Sherman. Neil Dick moving up to 3rd. These two battling it out. McClure versus Borkington. And it looks like McClure will win that battle. Alvarez, though, has a really fast car underneath him. He immediately closes up to the 15. To the 15's back bumper. He might try to make a move here. Alvarez to the inside. Doesn't have enough of a run. I think Sherman... Oh, he got a huge run out of turn 4. They're side by side. Sherman trying to use the outside line to his advantage, but Alvarez should... slowing down a ton there. I don't think there's a caution. I got a bit confused by that, but Sherman is holding his line on the outside, and he might be able to hold off Alvarez. And he's clear. Some great defensive driving by Sherman. Almost completing 30 laps here so far. This has been very quick since the first caution. The first early caution. Alvarez, though, not letting the 15 get away again. He's got a run. He might have a run here. He's peeking. He's peeking down low. He's waiting to make a move. Meanwhile, McClure's making the move for 3rd behind. Alvarez, does he have any room on the bottom? He does not. Peter Lane, meanwhile, silently making his way through the field up to 3rd place. Goes to 33 machine. Alvarez still all over the back bumper of the 15. He just... Oh, Sherman slid up a bit there. Alvarez might try to take advantage of that, but he didn't have enough of a run out of turn 2 to be able to. As Sherman will hang on to his lead for now. Here comes K-Meets all over Neil Dick. And he'll take over 4th place, it seems like. He will get cleared. Yes, he will. 96, not 36. That's Shrivastava. Seems like these drivers are slowing a lot more in the corners. As we check out the outside of the top 10, S.T. Craig here, Kellen Short, Justin Perez just barely outside the top 10. Chilling in 11th place, or excuse me, 12th place, 11th is Craig. Man, Alvarez is all over the back bumper of Sherman. He's been all over the back bumper of Sherman since he took the lead. Sherman, that is. But he cannot get around him. Some great defensive driving, definitely, by Montana Sherman. Knowing where to go, knowing which line to take. It's definitely worked out for Sherman so far. With 70 laps to go, still a long way to go, and we're probably going to have a couple more rounds of pit stops. Alvarez might have a chance here out of turn 2. He's got a run. Long run. Huge run for Anton Alvarez. He's going to lead at the line. Around goes Borkington. He spins around. This could be a big one. This could be a huge, huge wreck. Oh, and Luke Evans goes flying in the air. Massive, massive accident, and they're piling in. They're still wrecking everywhere. Mark Evans is involved. He's got smoke. Riley Smith, heavy damage. Doge Borkington got spun around, and that's why. And so many other drivers involved. Carlos Martin, Carlson Vebels, Big Mac. And they're still wrecking, I hear. I hear still damaged cars wrecking into each other. What happened? So here is Doge Borkington in the 14. He's had a pretty strong day. And he's just going to slide up into Peter Lane. Makes contact with Lane, and that'll send him into the outside wall. Both him and Peter Lane. Kind of in front of a couple drivers here. Kirsten Bell makes big contact with Lane. That almost sends him flipping. Borkington makes contact with the wall again. Bounces out. And Eichenfelder nowhere to go. He gets involved. Luke Evans is going to pile in. Gets clipped. Makes contact with Bell. Oh, Kellen Short just barely missed Luke Evans. And then all these drivers behind are going to pile in. Ezekiel Garcia Ball nowhere to go. Riley Smith nowhere to go. Piles into the back of Evans and sends him flipping. Luke Evans, that is. Mark Evans then gets spun around as well. Fleet Cruz, I think, got some damage in that. And then there's some wrecking behind as well. As everybody's trying to slow down behind, Big Mac makes contact with Nelson Reeves, and that's going to send Big Mac into Alex Davidson. And there's a bit of a stack up as well. Vebels and Dan Sedgwick getting involved. Maria Tagola, Tyler Sustry. All these slower cars kind of piling. Jackson Brown. I see Lattimore also involved. Sierra Reno. All these, slower cars just piling in. And it causes a huge mess on the front stretch. And it's a massive, massive accident to bring out our second caution of the day. Not sure who's even going to be left after this mess. So with the caution coming out once again, everybody heading to pit road. Not just, of course, the damaged drivers. Everybody following Alvarez onto pit road. And 44 into his pit stall. Along with everybody else, looks like mostly everybody's going to get tires here. I don't think there's going to be any. It just fuel only stops this time, perhaps. And Alvarez out of his stall. And he'll easily win the race off of pit road. Sherman trying to hang on to second, and he will. But an easy win for Anton Alvarez off of pit road, and he'll help hold on to his lead for now. Alright, so here's pretty much the bonding count after that huge accident. Kirsten Bell out, Sierra Reno out, Christopher Lattimore out, Kyle Sistry out, Nelson Reeves, Alex Davidson, Riley Smith, Ezekiel Garcia Ball, points leader Mark Evans, Luke Evans, obviously, Peter Lane, Josh Eichenfelder, and Doge Porkington. 28 cars still left. I don't know how many of those cars are clean, as Anton Alvarez won the race off of pit road. Top 10 is Alvarez, Montana Sherman, Neil Dick, Ronnie Martin, Anthony McCord, Justin Peros somehow in 6th place, Tegan Fox, Patrick Kamietz, Quandre Wilson, and Fleet Cruz rounds out your top 10. I would say, I think 14 of those cars are clean, up to Skippy Larson. 20 definitely has damage. I'm not sure if Kellen Short got any damage, but she somehow ended up behind Carlos Martin. But anyways, we're going back green here. Green flags back out. Alvarez, great restart on Sherman, but doesn't look like Angel Gutierrez is slow whatsoever. That might be a problem. No, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Ronnie Martin trying the inside line though, however, but it looks like Alvarez will clear the lap car into turn 3. Sherman, not so much. 3 wide with a couple cars there. Ronnie Martin, Neil Dick might be in trouble, getting squeezed a bit. Sherman now trying to get around Gutierrez and trying to catch back up to Alvarez. Martin up into 3rd place. Tegan Fox up into 4th. Here comes Patrick Kamietz as well. Everybody trying to navigate the slower lap traffic. It's definitely shuffling up the field here. Connor holding it to the inside wall. Not sure who that is. Yellow flag is out. Oh, and it's Maria Tagola, I believe. Slams into the inside wall. Somehow went flipping. I'm not sure how that happened. And quickly, 3rd caution out for the day. I don't know how that happened. Matthew Hubert on the inside. It's going to be BMW on BMW violence. They make contact. Hard into the wall goes Tagola. And then gets spun around by the 37. And that's how she got upside down and then flipping. And she goes for a wild ride. I think she'll be okay here pretty much. I think Dan Sedgwick, yeah, Sedgy will avoid her, but I think she should pretty much be okay. But she does go for a bit of a little ride here, and that will probably end her race. But 3rd caution quickly coming out here. And we're not even at the halfway point, folks. Not sure who's going to be left after this race. It's a wild run. It's a wild one here at Texas. Another caution out, and they're pitting once again. It looks like one car is staying out, though. That looks like... I think that's the 51 of St. Craig who is deciding to stay out. Nope, that's Anthony McCord. Never mind. I'm not sure where Craig went. Still in the race? No, I think he DNF'd, maybe. No, I think he's still running. Yeah, he's in 18th, but interesting that the rookie is deciding to stay out. Very interesting strategy there. And Alvarez done with his pit stop, out of his pit stall. But some other drivers on some different strategies. Sherman is going to come out first. Different mix of strategies here. Late. One, not even late. Oh, Martin. What just happened? Well, I don't think I've ever seen this before. 3 wide out of pit road. Travasova, Brandon Allen, and Carlos Martin. They all make contact, and Martin into the inside wall hard. I don't think I've ever seen that before, folks, but a very weird incident coming off of pit road, so it's just been a weird race. That's all I can say. Getting ready for the restart. Our 3rd restart of the race. Anthony McCord currently the leader. He stayed out under caution, and he is now the new leader. Sherman and Martin and Fleet Cruz, I believe, are on different strategies compared to Anton Alvarez, who I believe took 4 tires. So it'll be interesting to see how those strategies work out. Anyways, pace car heads to pit road. McClure, the leader, he'll restart. He'll get the green flag, and we're back underway. We'll see if this field can even get close to halfway. As he'll clear the lap traffic on the inside. Sherman right behind him trying to clear Jackson Brown, and he will. So he'll clear, get back into second place. We'll see how much faster that 15 is compared to the 74. Oh, almost contact there. That almost caused another caution. Here comes Sherman. Speed out of nowhere. Here comes the 15 machine, and he'll clear Anthony McClure. Here comes Alvarez as well. Those fresher tires. I think he's on all fours. Teammate Caleb Lane, though, right behind. He's been kind of quiet today. All HKS drivers still in it, including Manuel Sanchez, who has heavy damage, so he's kind of slow. Kind of slow there. Brandon Allen heading to pit road. Lap car kind of slowed up the rest of the field, so it's kind of separated right now. Wayne's going to clear for third. These two still close as Sherman continues to lead. Kind of a mess behind, though. Seems like 3 wide with Conwell and a bunch of other drivers. Lap traffic. Oh, no, it's not lap traffic. All these cars are on the lead lap. This could get dicey. Cruz definitely got slowed up big time, I believe. And it's kind of affecting him as he falls through the field. Coming up to this front pack here. Alvarez trying to get second place. No, that's not Alvarez. Caleb Lane trying to get second place. Here comes Cam Eats, though. He cannot get around Anthony McClure, as Sherman is starting to pull away somewhat. Here comes Patrick Kamitz. Side by side. And he's going to clear for third. And now he's going to try to go for second. Has room on the inside. Bumps him out of the way. And he slides up the racetrack. What a move by Patrick Kamitz. And he's going to slide into second. Just like that, with a wild move by the 96 machine. Now I'm going to try to chase down Sherman. Kamitz has led some laps here today, by the way, if you forgot. But Sherman... Oh, and Sherman has an issue! What just happened? No, Sherman, no! And he might be in trouble. He can't get down to the inside. Everyone is going to get around him. He's very slow. Keep it up to the high side, Montana. And he has a tire go down, and Sherman, the bad luck, fights again. And this might lead to another yellow if he can't get back. He's going to stop. Yellow flags back out for the 4th time today. Tough luck. Kamit's now the new leader, but Montana cannot catch a break. And it looks like we're going to get another round of pit stops here, since it's another caution, as Kamitz is going to lead the teammates down pit road, along with Anthony McClure, Ronnie Martin, Tegan Fox chilling in 6th place. Jackson Brown will get the free pass. So almost all our cars are back on the lead lap somehow. But poor Montana Sherman. Maybe had the best car in the field. Maybe second best to Alvarez. We're not sure about that. But tough luck. Contact out of pit road. Ronnie Martin and Williams' car. I'm not sure who, as Alvarez is going to win the race off of pit road. Seems like that's not going to affect Martin, although he does have some side damage. Doesn't seem to affect Wilson or Kellen Short either, as they're both fine. So it wasn't that earlier incident with Perkins at all. Getting ready for another restart here at Texas. Anton Alvarez easily won the race off of pit road. He is still the leader. Still has probably the best car today. I believe we have finally pretty much reached the halfway point of the race. But it's still a long way to go to the end. With about 50 laps to go. Alvarez, the leader, current top 10, is Anton Alvarez, Ronnie Martin, Patrick Cummings. Right behind, Caleb Lane, Tegan Fox, Bandit Gallagher somehow in 6th place, Fleet Cruz, Kellen Short, Leroy Conwell, and Justin Perez rounds out the top 10. Pace car gonna pull in, and we're gonna get ready to go back green. Still a long way to go to the end. You never know what could happen. As the green flag's back out, and we're back underway. And Allen is not fast whatsoever. Alvarez will easily clear the slower 16 machine. Kind of stack up the rest of the field behind. Ronnie Martin might be in trouble here. Here comes his teammate Caleb Lane. HKS 123 at the current moment right now. Sherman trying to get around the lap car as well. If there's another caution, he'll get the wave around. He still looks pretty fast. He's hoping to get back on the lead lap any way he can. Maybe get around Alvarez? That could be a possibility. Hope for a caution. That could work. We'll just have to wait and see here, but Caleb Lane has other ideas. Trying to get around the lap car of the 5th of Sherman. Getting pressured by Tegan Fox behind, who somehow made it up to 3rd place. Cammy's sliding all the way up the racetrack in some trouble. Put 3 wide and dropping like a rock. As everybody's trying to get around Brandon Allen right now. Alvarez with a pretty comfortable lead right now. Here comes Kellen Short making her way up into the top 5. Bandit Gallagher was in the top 5 for a second. That did not last. He's trying to hang on to the top 10 though, at least. Looking for a great race on debut, and he might get it. Battle for second. Tegan Fox looking for her first career win. Sherman trying to get around Alvarez. Could have been the battle for the lead if it wasn't for Sherman's issues. And he'll get around, and he'll probably hope for a caution here. Put him back on the lead lap. Here comes Tegan Fox. She's going to try to go for the lead. Does she have enough of a run? No, I don't think so. Looks like Alvarez might be able to hang on. Fox is still there. Fox is still there. Helped by Sherman. Definitely side by side for the lead. Tegan Fox might win this battle. And she will. She'll barely lead up the line. Here comes Kellen Short, the Daytona 500 winner. Into second she goes. It's a woman 1-2 right now as Alvarez falls like a rock on the outside. In trouble. Wayne also battling. Here comes Parsons trying to defend his win. Anthony McCoy also joining up. Carlson Bevel's fighting for a top 10 position despite having a damaged race car. Short's trying to go for the lead. Meanwhile, side by side, the women drivers. This is a huge moment in RMS history. I don't believe we've had a woman 1-2 before, as Kellen Short now takes the lead, looking to become the first repeat winner of the season, perhaps. That's still in the cards for her. 99 now out front. Alvarez continuing to get shuffled back here. He is struggling right now. Stuck up on that outside line, and it's not helping him whatsoever. He's going to fall outside of the top 10, I believe. As everybody slows up in the corner real hard. Short trying to get around Sherman, put him back 2 laps down. And cannot get around Sherman whatsoever. Here comes Caleb Lane, moving down to the inside, going to try to take second for himself. Here comes Anthony McCoy as well, right behind, battling with Michael Parsons. Wayne might try to go for the lead all for himself as well. Got a huge run on Kellen Short. Short's trying to get around Sherman. Sherman's going to hang on. She has to slow up big time. Sherman, just like before, is doing some great defensive driving, but he's still hoping for a caution. He's still hoping for a caution to come out, as Short's going to get a huge run on the inside of the lap car, and that might do it. I didn't realize Carlos Martin was only a lap down somehow. I'm not sure how that happened. 20 was on pit road for most of the time, and he just somehow 1 lap down in front of Sherman, so I thought he was going to get the free pass. That being the 15. However, if a caution does come out, he will not. So, I'm not sure what Sherman's supposed to do about that, but that's kind of weird. As Wayne is really getting held up by Sherman right now, and Kellen Short's kind of driving away here somewhat. Bevel's up into 3rd place. The damaged race car. No rear end. It's not affecting him at all, it seems like. McClure got moved up to the outside line. He's kind of getting slowed up by Sherman. Caleb Blaine still hanging on to second. However, that might not last. Here comes Vebels. 40 laps to go. Still got a long way to go to the end. This might be our longest race of the year, coming up on an hour, and we're not even close to being done. Here comes Parsons, trying to defend his victory. In the number 3 machine, he's been quietly, just running in the field most of the time. He mostly avoid the accident with barely any damage. Vebels up into 6th place. Wayne drops like a rock on the outside line. McClure moves back up to 4th. Here comes Tegan Fox and Justin Perez again. If something funny happens, we could possibly get some huge upset wins today, if that's even possible. Short alone is just an upset win, to be honest, because she's having a really great time as the leader. The top 2 currently all have won this season. Here comes Parsons, though, trying to get 2nd place all to himself. Vebels is going to hang on the outside, though. McClure moves up to the high side, looking for some clean air. He'll move down to the inside. Here comes the rookie, Anthony McClure, trying to make something happen. Side by side here with Parsons, and he's going to clear the number 3. McClure into 3rd. Trying to press his dad any way he can. He's been pretty impressive in ADS so far. Could he get more starts in the 74? We'll just have to wait and see. Short sort of pulling away from Vebels. I think I spoke too soon. Here comes Carlson Vebels. Possibly could look at win number 2 on the year. I'm not sure how that 11 is fast at all with that rear end damage. Usually they're pretty slow, but somehow he's keeping up the pace. But Short hanging on to his lead though. Or her lead, excuse me, sorry. But Vebels got a huge run on the inside. Short slid up the racetrack. They're going to be side by side for the lead. Here comes Carlson Vebels. And he's going to clear out of turn 4. Carlson Vebels, the new leader. Slow car, Dan Sedgwick, up ahead. He's about 20 miles off the pace. He might be parked. Yeah, he might be. Fastest lap now belongs to Vebels. As we get deeper into this race, as we get closer to the end. Now that was my chance to park him and I completely missed it. So there's going to be a big slow car in the way here soon. Oh, this might be trouble for Vebels. This might be trouble for everybody. Can he get to the inside quickly? And it looks like he will. I hope that doesn't cause issues. He's stuck on the outside line. This might be a problem. He's going to really slow up McClure, but it looks like the 6 machine will be able to get to pit road, and that'll be it for Dan Sedgwick today. Vebels still leading. That is split up into a 3-car pack out front, as McClure's going to try to catch back up. Fighting for 5th place, Justin Perez and Neil Dick. What a battle that is. Tegan Fox, Purem Srivastava as well. Yesterday's winner looking to go back-to-back, perhaps. Caleb Blaine also chilling here. Camian's making his way back into the top 10. I think he had a bad pit stop. I just realized now he was outside the top 10 pretty much. Battle for second going on. Parsons versus Kellen Short, as that's going to allow Vebels to pull away somewhat. Any slower lap cars in front? Carlos Martin and Big Mac, they're quite a far ways away. So that shouldn't affect the leaders anytime soon. Short's going to hang on to second. Coming up on 30 laps to go in this race. Almost reaching the 1 hour mark in this race. In terms of the replay. As Vebels starting to pull away somewhat. It's a mess behind. Neil Dick fell back a ton. He's going right behind Tegan Fox and might lose another position to Purem Srivastava. Fleet Cruz might join in on that battle as well. Here comes Patrick Kamitz as well, joining in on the fun. If he can catch up in time, that is. 30 laps to go now. Lap 72 of 101. Cruz trying to get around Neil Dick as the 91 is falling like a rock. Caleb Lane also joining in on this battle as well. Parsons got around Cohen short. Now he slots back into second place. Or he's in second place for the first time today. But, man, Vebels is going to get a huge lead here. He almost has half a second advantage over everybody else as Short's trying to get second place back. To the inside goes the 99. Trying to get second place back for herself. And she'll win that battle, and back into second place she goes. That's allowed McCoy to close up. And Vebels is just gone right now. He's on a Sunday cruise. Harris still hanging on to 5th place for now. Tegan Fox right behind. Purev Shrivastava, Fleet Cruz. Shrivastava pulling a crossover on Tegan Fox, trying to get some room on the inside. And he is going to get that room. They're going to be side by side. Caleb Lane right behind, trying to help the 36 machine. Side by side, 88, 36. Shrivastava is going to win that battle. As Tegan Fox is going to slide up a bit and lose a ton of positions. Or at least one more position. I might have over-exaggerated as Fleet Cruz is going to get around. Oh no, Gutierrez! I forgot, he's back on the lead lap, and now he's somehow in the top 10. He's just been sort of quiet ever since he went a lap down for some reason. As Vebels, I believe, almost has a 1 second advantage. Oh, no, he lost a lot of... He lost a lot of time on Kellen Short, who's trying to chase him down. Lap car slowly appearing in front of Vebels, that being Carlos Martin and Big Mac. See if that will affect Vebels in any way. But also what might affect these drivers is, can we make it to the end? I'm not sure. See the gap this time by? I think Vebels, yeah, he definitely pulled away a ton there. Definitely had a better lap. Gutierrez looks pretty speedy right now. He's kind of making his way through the field, getting around Fleet Cruz. Might get around Purev Shrivastava as well if he has a big enough of a run. He does, side by side. That is for 6th place. And he's going to win that battle. So is Fleet Cruz as he wins 4th place. Gutierrez doesn't even appear on the speed charts. Oh, we got cars crashing. ST Craig, I think, is involved. And his car is junked. Brandon Allen also involved. I think Bandit Gallagher might have some damage. Quandre Wilson also involved. Cars were heading to pit road while that happened, so this should be interesting. But let's see what happened to cause this recent caution here today. Craig just kind of slides up into Brandon Allen here and keeps sliding up. Allen was kind of sliding up as well. And it's kind of the same accident we've had all day. They make contact, and that's going to send the two of them around. I'm sorry, my voice is destroyed. This has been a wild race. And here comes Wilson and Gallagher, who are, both of them are kind of really off the pace here. Both of them trying to avoid, and I think Wilson is unfortunately going to get clipped a bit. Gallagher also going to get some front end damage, but, the fender damage, the missing fender, in NR is usually pretty much a sign that you're going to be done for the day. Unfortunate luck for Fwanje Wilson, as we were about to have some green flag pit stops here. That would have been interesting, but anyways, another caution comes out. I'm not sure which caution we're on. Number 5, 6? I'm not sure, but this should be an interesting end to the race coming up. Folks, it looks like we might get one more round of pit stops before this race ends. Everybody heading onto pit road, following Vebels. As the 11 heads down pit road. Somehow that car is fast, despite all the rear end damage. You can see how jacked up the rear end is. Getting fresh tires on the 11 machine. And we'll see who will win the race off of pit road here. Everybody getting into the pit stalls. Seems like nobody's deciding to take fuel only this time. Vettel's out of his pit stall, and he should easily win the race off of pit road. Gutierrez is going to move up into third place, though. What a quick pit stop for the 87. Perez, then it's Parsons, and then everybody else. But yeah, Carlson Vettel still the leader. Perhaps this could be the final restart. Perez with issues. 18 blowing up, trying to go to the apron. Sherman's in the way, though. And this could be a problem. I'm not sure what he's doing here. He is just shoving Sherman out of the way. He really wants to get to the apron. And Caleb Lane blows up at the same time. 2 cars blowing up at the exact same moment. I'm not sure what's going on here. Perez trying to get to the apron. Sherman will not let him, though. As we're about to go back green here, I'm not sure what we're going to do. Not sure what's gonna happen. So this should be interesting. But anyways, less than 20 to go. Perez is going to be able to get to the apron, so they'll get to pit road. Vettel's still the leader, by the way, after pit stops. As we got under 20 laps to go, this could be the final restart of the race. Vettel, can he hang on for win number 2 of the season? Here we go. Easily should get around Manuel Sanchez, the hoodless wonder, and he will. So will Kellen Short. Gutierrez, not a very good restart for him at all. He's in trouble. Here comes Kellen Short, moving down to the inside with a run down the backstretch. Leaders are going to be side by side. Everybody else is getting sold up by lap traffic. So it's going to be these two, maybe till the end. And Kellen Short now takes the lead, all to ourselves. Vettel will probably try to fight back. We will see. Everybody else, though, is getting held up big time by lap traffic. Sherman is going to end up out of it. McClure is going to get up into third place. Ronnie Martin right behind as well. Inside line is the less slower line, I guess you could say. But it's definitely a wild restart. Short still leading. Vettel hasn't been able to close up. Has any other cars on the lead lap been able to get around? No, not quite. And it looks like McClure will finally get around, so third place will get around the slower car, Brandon Allen. Martin gets moved up to the high side. And so, let's see if Anthony and McClure can be able to chase down these two. They have such a big lead on third place now. 15 laps to go for Kellen Short to get win number 2 on the year. Vettel also looking for win number 2 on the year. At another oval, we'll see. We'll see if who will come out on top here. Vettel slowly closing in on the leader. Gained a little bit the previous lap. We'll see if he can gain any more. Battle for third going on. Kamits, I believe, is winning that battle. Patrick Kamits trying to catch up to the top 2. It looks like they are catching up a bit. Vettel might be in trouble here. Sherman is catching up to him. Sherman currently lap down, still looking for another caution. Trying to get around the cars on the lead lap, maybe get another lap back and hope for another yellow flag for the free pass. Just like the previous caution, but I don't think that strategy is going to work. Still top 20 is possible because of how many cars are not in the race anymore. 22 cars are left, and only 17 of them are still in the lead lap. So make of that as what you will. Short starting to pull away somewhat. Ronnie Martin's gotten out of that mess behind. Trying to catch up to Vettel. We'll see if he can, and it looks like he will. Short's almost got a second lead over Vettel right now. Fastest lap still belongs to Carlson Vettel. Teammates battling it out here. Kamits versus Skippy Larson. Anthony McCoy still chilling in 6th place. Anton Alvarez now the only competitive flag bearer for HKS Ronnie Racing. Neil Jack just looking for a top 10, I believe. I'm not sure if he finished in the top 10 last race, I forgot. Parsons trying to recover. Bandit Gallagher's just trying to finish in the top 15, it seems like. Which is definitely a possibility. Here comes Ronnie Martin for second. 92. Gonna get around Bevels. Here comes K-Meets as well. Almost coming up on 10 laps to go for Kellen Short. Can she hang on? Or can Ronnie Martin or Patrick K-Meets, can they catch up to her? We will just have to wait and see. She has a second lead over these two. Sherman is very close right now. That could be a bit of a problem. As the laps start winding down, they start ticking down. We're over the hour mark here. I'm telling you, this is going to be a fun race replay to edit at the end of this race. Martin in the distance. Short. 10 laps to go for win number 2 on the year. Can she do it? Ronnie Martin did close up somewhat. Not a lot. But if he closes up enough, by the time the white flag waves, we might have an interesting race. And I think he's definitely closing up the gap here. Sherman definitely putting on the pressure. If Sherman tries to make a pass on Kellen Short, that might be very helpful for Ronnie Martin, honestly. Just have to wait and see. 9 laps to go. The gap definitely shrunken down. Martin's got the faster car right now. K-Meets moves into 3rd as well. Devils might lose 4th over Anthony McCoy, but he cannot get around Devils. I think McCoy has gone around Skippy Larson to get back into 4th. Ronnie Martin is there. He's closing in big time. Gonna be 8 laps to go for Short. It's definitely setting up for a possible interesting finish to end this race. Half a second separates the top 2. Tires are starting to wear out more and more, so that could be very helpful for Short, but perhaps if Ronnie Martin tries to attempt to pass, and also Sherman is in the way of Martin right now. So that's very helpful as well. Short got a great run out of turn 4. I think she pulled a bit away. No, she did not. She keeps losing time on Ronnie Martin. But it's one thing to catch a driver, another thing to pass. Martin kind of struggling to get around Sherman, but here comes Sherman. Huge run out of turn 2. Could possibly get on the inside of Kellen Short, and if he does, that might be trouble for Short. That could be big trouble. She slides up the racetrack, definitely giving enough room on the inside. 6 laps to go. Can she do it? Can she hang on? Building up the anticipation of this finish. Martin continuing to close in. Gotta hope Sherman can get a good run out of turn 2 here to possibly have a chance. Short holding her line as the 2 drivers behind her close up on her. 5 laps to go. Martin is there, trying to get around Sherman. He moves down to the inside. That's going to allow Kellen Short to pull away somewhat. As, well, that didn't last long. He easily gets around Sherman. That 92 is on fire right now, and it's setting up for a possibly great finish to end a wild Texas race. Short, good run through the middle. That's going to allow her to pull away somewhat. Out of turn 4. 4 laps to go. Sherman's not quite pulling away here somewhat. Or not losing these 2. Martin might be in trouble. And that might have just helped Kellen Short a ton. With 4 laps to go. But no, Ronnie Martin is going to hang on. That car is just set up really well for this last run. And Martin's going to close up again. Running a bit of a lower line than Kellen Short, trying to close up on the lead. Here he comes. Great run out of turn 4. 3 laps to go. Does he have room on the inside? Yes, he does. Into turn 1. Here comes Ronnie Martin. Can he get the lead? Short's going to try to hang on the outside. Martin's not quite clear yet. Short's going to fight back on the outside. K-Meets is going to close up as well. Here they come into turn 3. Martin's going to clear. New leader, Ronnie Martin. 2 laps to go for Martin. Here comes Cammy. It's going to try to get second place. He might have a chance at the lead, but he's going to need maybe a couple more laps, and he's going to run out of time probably. Martin is pulling away from everybody else. He's just got a fast hot rod for this final run. The HKS cars have been competitive all day. I think I accidentally said that Alvarez was the last competitive car for them, but I completely ignored Ronnie Martin, obviously. White flag is out, last lap for Ronnie Martin. Can he get the job done? He has a nice gap over the lap car, Montana Sherman, kind of holding up Kellen Short and Patrick Hammonds down the backstretch for the final time. Martin won at North Wilkesboro last year to get his first career win, and looking for win number 2 of his career. Short trying to get around Sherman. It's not going to be enough. Ronnie Martin is going to win a wild race at Texas. He wins the Interstate Batteries 500. Whoa, what a wild race that was. There goes Ronnie Martin celebrating a well-deserved victory. That last final run, he was pretty speedy, and he gets to do burnouts for the first time in about a year. I thank you all for watching this Texas race replay, one of our longest races in terms of time, and I'll see you next week for another oval, that being the flat track of Las Vegas this time, not the D-shaped ovals that continue to occupy the schedule more and more as the years go on. But anyways, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye! Top 20 in points should be coming up right after this.